Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to identify a range and how to better identify ranges using the WoodsBot tools. And I'm also going to be showing you how you can look to trade that range with additional WoodsBot tools. So first off, we need to identify and understand what a range is. So ranges typically happen after big impulsive moves, like you can see here. From there, we formed up a little range here, big impulsive move here, small range here, impulsive move range here, impulsive move down. Again, you can just see if we just chart these out, small range here, again, impulsive move, and now we're kind of operating in this range here. And so these ranges typically happen after impulsive moves and price finds a new area where buyers and sellers are both kind of equal until one side gives out. And you can see here, sellers overtook buyers. There wasn't enough people who were interested in buying. You find some more buyers here, you range for a bit. You sell off some more, you find some more buyers, you push up until you can find enough sellers. And here we are again here in this range where every time price comes to range highs here, being the one, you get people stepping in, you get sellers, and vice versa. Every time you seem to come down to here, you get people buying up, you get long orders filling in, things like that. So that's what causes these ranges until enough liquidity builds on one side where, enough people are not willing to sell up here and enough people have bought down here that you break the range to the upside, or vice versa. Enough people are willing to sell up here and price continues to come down here and just not enough people are willing to buy. So you break the range to the downside. So this is how you identify a range, and you can also change to the line tool here, which will give you normal ranges here. I like to use the wicks because when you sweep wicks, or you sweep the highs or the lows and accept back inside the range, these give you really good plays, which I will go over shortly. But another way to identify your ranges is to use the line tool, and this is going to give you more of a value area high, value area low, because this doesn't take into account the wicks. So it's another way to just kind of look at your range kind of maybe a little bit cleaner. So you can see here if we go back. So basically the way a range works though is every time you come up and you sweep the highs and you accept back inside, you can look for a play down to the opposite side of the range. And every time you're around range lows and you hold, you can look for vice versa, right? So we'll go over range plays and what those look like in a moment here. But I'm gonna show you guys a few tools inside of WoodsBot that can help you identify clearly that we are in a range environment. So inside of WoodsBot, one of the bots that we have is the high block bot here. So this is gonna give you a snapshot of liquidity on different time frames on specific coins here. So I'll show you here if we click BTC 7-day. This is going to give you a snapshot of where liquidity is sitting, and you can clearly see, just below 45 and about 44K here, you have a ton of liquidity. Go to the chart, right, like 44. These highs here up to about 45, you have a ton of liquidity just above our range that we're operating in currently. And to the downside below these lows here, you can also see that we are lit up with liquidity. So again, right here, and you have, all of these lows. This is where liquidity is sitting for people looking to long and liquidity sitting for people looking to short. So that's what causes this range, is that every time price goes outside of the range, people's orders are getting filled. If we get acceptance back inside the range, you can look to target the other extreme, being range highs. Same thing, orders are getting filled, people are taking profits from their bottom longs, and we continue to range until one side, eventually breaks out. So the high block bot is one way that you guys can use to help identify ranges by understanding where the liquidity is sitting, and that can map out basically with your TA so you can get a better picture of what's going on. And then another way for you guys to better understand some levels that you can use are the support and resistance majors. So this here, support resistance levels on Bitcoin and Ethereum, 15-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame, and your daily time frame. This is going to pull data from 3 years history to give you these levels. So these are very, very clear and very, very distinct levels that are proven out over 3 years of data. So if we click the 4 hours here, let's pull this up. Okay, so I'm gonna throw these onto our chart here with resistance at 43,899. And you have a support at 42,168. Okay, so you can see here, even with our WoodsBot levels, this is going to give you can see the range that we're operating inside, right? It's a little bit different given the wicks and everything, but you can see you have your range high here, denoted by an H4 resistance. You have essentially your mid range here, again, denoted by an H4 resistance, and you have somewhat of your range lows here denoted by an H4 support. So when you guys are playing a range, there's a few rules to playing the range and a few ways to do this the best. One of the first rules is that you never want to do business at the mid-range. This is where after a big move, this is where most traders will end up giving back most of their money made in these big impulsive moves and these kind of trends. So the number one rule is you don't want to trade in the mid-range of these ranges that are formed. So what you want to look to do is do business at the extremes of the range, at the sweeps, right? So this is a sweep of the high, you can target the low, right? Even here, you get like a reclaim, you can target the high. Again, you come here, you sweep the high again, right? Target the low. And eventually what's going to happen is you're going to break the range and you're going to get another impulsive move or a trend outside of the range once there is acceptance, right? Come back here, you can see you have your range highs here, you sweep the high of the range. These are small ranges, this is just an example though, right? Come down here, you can target the low end. Again, you sweep the low, target the high, target the low, till eventually this breaks. And then same thing here, right? You have playing by the wicks, right? You have your sweep of range highs where you could look to position long with invalidation acceptance above the range or just, slightly above the last high. Price comes up again, rejects here, and goes all the way down to form the lower end of the range, right? You can see this is the first time price comes down here, so it's a little hard to predict where the range will actually form. But again, right, this area here is exactly where you do not want to get business because you will get absolutely chopped up as Bitcoin, alts, Ethereum, everything is going to be super indecisive around here. Obviously there'll be outliers, but this is the majority of where most traders will end up giving back their money. So that's a few rules on how to play the ranges. Now I'm going to give you guys a few ways that you can play the ranges with WoodsBot tools. All right, now I'm going to show you guys how you could use some tools from WoodsBot to catch some plays given what we just learned inside of ranges here. So as we see here, this is a range high sweep, but obviously this is early on in your range being formed, but this is exactly what you would look for on either side of the range in order to look for triggers for plays. A sweep of the range highs here, and you also get a bearish div on the RSI and the OBV on the 30 minutes. So this is going to come from the WoodsBot Discord. So this is one of the tools that I'm going to show you guys that you could have used to catch some plays with this. Once this swept here and confirmed the bearish divergence being price higher high, your RSI making a lower low, you would have been notified inside the Discord here. You can see right here, you would have received this notification indicating that Bitcoin made a bearish divergence on the 30-minute. Now, once you received this, you could have then gone into the Discord and you would have received a number of different alerts across a ton of different alts that were also at the same time frame and the same period here in which you could have looked for some plays on. So let's take a look at what that looked like in the Discord. Okay, so you can see here, January 30th, 12 a.m., same time frame. You can see all of these 30-minute bearish divergences came in across all of these different alts. Right now we're going to look at Sol and we're going to look at Mina. So let's take a look at Mina. So same time frame that you got the bearish div on Bitcoin where it also swept your range high. You would have received this alert here. Boom, 30-minute bearish div. This one played out for 8.2% move. You have Sol. Again, you have a nice bearish div up here on the 30-minute time frame. This one here played out for just over 10-12% for you. So those are some 30-minute divs that you could have played from the Discord. Now I'm also going to show you some 4-hour divs that also played out. So this is another alert bot inside the Discord here, RSI bot alts on the 4-hour. And so at the same time here, January 30th at 12 a.m., you would have received some 4-hour div alerts, right? So I'm going to take this example here. We're going to take a look at Super, pull up Super on the 4-hour time frame. So this is a much higher time frame div, meaning it has a much greater effect. They don't always play out, obviously. 4 hours is a lot stronger than a 30-minute. So you can see your 4-hour div here came in at 7305. Which is right around here. So this played out for about a 31% move. And you got this div alert exactly at the same time that Bitcoin swept the range highs and also put in its 30-minute div. So these are a few tools on top of identifying ranges inside of the WoodsBot Discord on how you can also look to take plays once the range is identified and once you get triggers of a range high or a range low sweep.